One thing that I think happens in a creative academic program is that students get lazy because they deliver work and the professor critiques it and then they fix it. And so what happens is over time they learn that they don't have to deliver perfect work because the professor will critique it and tell them what's wrong with it. And so what we need to do before we let them out of the ivory tower is we have to get them to a point where they can critique their own work. And so we want them to internalize that critical voice, and when they're doing their own work we want them to go, oh, the professor isn't going to like that, let me fix that before I turn it in. And so that's one of the things that we try to get them to do, is we give them multiple cuts of the work, but we want to see them doing their best work on the first cut, not on the last cut.
I've never really been good at telling when my work is finished because you can edit something into oblivion, and there is a certain spot, a sweet spot where it's done, and if you mess it up, do anything more, you're just going to mess it up. Matt always tries to kind of help you tune in on that. It's kind of like an artist tunes their instrument. They know they can hear it, they can hear that sweet spot, but it just takes time. And I think knowing when a project is done is the mark of a really experienced editor.
I hold them to the highest possible standards, not just creative standards that I want them to cut the most artistic possible piece, but technical standards as well. So for instance, if their piece is going to be broadcast on television, there are very rigorous standards that will allow a piece to be broadcastable, and we want to make sure that they know what those are and that they're able to meet those standards before they leave the academy. Obviously, when they first start at the university, we can't have absolutely the highest standards, but by the time they get to those classes right before they leave the ivory tower, we really need to be judging them on the standards that they're going to be judged by on the other side of those walls.